Now I'm going to introduce or just show you an example of a box and whisker plot and creating things called a 5-number summary. So this will help you with your homework on page 176. This is for lesson 3. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy down a set of numbers as if I conducted a survey and these were my results. All right, so I'm not sure what question I might have asked the question. Well, so again, since it's not one you can use for your survey project, so I might say, how many siblings do you have? To a group of students, and I might get the following responses: 0, 1. Another person might say 1. We might have a couple 2s, maybe a 3, a 4. We might have a jumbo group, 8, and then maybe 10. I mean, now we're getting kind of ridiculous. And 11. Okay, well, we should invite the Duggars, then we'd be all way out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this might be survey data I collected, and I have to create what's called the 5-number summary. The 5-number summary involves the following things: the minimum or the smallest number in the list, the maximum or the largest number in the list, and then 3 things called quartiles. Quartile 1, quartile 2, and quartile 3. Quartile 2, you already know how to find. It's actually the median of the whole list, the middle number. Q1, quartile 1, cuts off the first quarter or the first 25% of the data. So it's actually the median of the lower half. That's kind of a little definition of it. Q3 would be the median of the upper half. So all 3 of those, Q1, Q2, and Q3, are medians. It's just Q1 and Q3 are special kinds of medians. Okay, so for my 5-number summary, the minimum is easy. It's the smallest number, that's 0. The maximum would be 11 because that's the largest. Okay, then you cannot start with Q1. You have to go to Q2 because I need to know what the middle number of this entire list is. So you learned that in lesson 2, and I guess you repeated it. You repeated it in lesson 3. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers. So I'm going to have an even amount. That means one of them won't be exactly in the middle. So I have to find the middle 2. All right, and so these 2 are my middle 2 numbers. I have 4 numbers to the left of them and 4 numbers to the right. And the median is the midpoint between them. So you learned that to find the midpoint, you do 2 plus 3, add the 2 together, and divide by 2, or cut the distance in half there. And you get 2.5. So the median, I can go ahead and write down here, is 2.5. That's Q2. Okay, now I'm going to erase this. So again, if you need that, copy it down. If you need to pause so that you can copy it, that's, go ahead and do this. You got to pretend like you're sitting in class taking notes. Only you have a little bit more control because you have a pause button. All right, and I'm also going to erase this indication because I don't want it to confuse me as far as what the lower and upper half is. Okay, 2.5 is between 2 and 3. Okay, so the lower half would be all the numbers that's less than 2.5. So that's all of these numbers, including that 2. The upper half would be all the numbers greater than 2.5 or to the right of 2.5, so that's those numbers. So now I'm going to go do Q1. That's the median or the middle of the lower half. Well, the lower half, I have 5 numbers. This one is in the middle. So 1 would be Q1 or the median of the lower half. In the upper half, I have 5 numbers as well. 8 is the number in the middle. So 8 would be my Q3. That's the middle point, the median of the upper half. The only other thing I didn't mention, but you should have learned that when you did median, is you have to make sure all your numbers are in numerical order. You can't do this if they're just in random order. So I gave you my numbers in numerical order. If you ever have a list not, you have to order them first. All right, that's the 5-number summary. Minimum, Q1, Q2, Q3, and maximum. The next part of the lesson is creating what's called a box and whisker plot. It's a type of graph. You will see it very often, particularly in medical research, educational research. If you remember from when you took standardized tests, or if you have kids that are taking the TCAPS or other tests, they report the scores with box and whisker plots. Actually, I tell you what, I'm going to close this video and do the box and whisker plot in a separate one so it's not so long.